Namaskar. Let's address the practical exam and why it's important and why even bother have a practical exam. After all, if you were to attend a yoga teacher training, the practical exam is usually considered the pinnacle of your training. So when you have any other kind of a course, say online, or where materials are sent to you that were tangible materials, you would think you would want to have a practical exam. You might think that. Now, yes, it is a challenge. It's a challenge to put together a class, and it's actually a fairly large part of what yoga teachers prepare for and do every day. So, how could a yoga teacher teach without any preparation? Well, I don't think you're going to be able to teach very well. It's one of those things where what you have to do is prepare. So the preparation time, even during a course, is definitely valuable time. If you did nothing at all, if you didn't even finish the course, but spent your time learning how to develop a class, you would at least be able to teach your friends and family, and quite safely, especially if you spent most of your time focusing on the practicum. But the other thing is, for us, we want to make sure that our graduates are prepared to teach and come across as competent yoga teachers. So we don't want to just send somebody out and have them get ambushed by all these different things in the hiring process. And the hiring process is going to probably reveal whether you can teach or not. What's the easiest way that a program coordinator finds out if you can teach or not? They do an audition. So they might do an audition where it's you and a small class, and that small class may be the owner of the center, or it might be the manager of the center, it might be both. It might be other instructors who also are familiar with yoga or familiar with other ways of teaching and other styles. So maybe somebody's a Pilates teacher and they've decided that what they're going to do is just go along for the ride and give some feedback to management. Either way, it's what some people would say is the greatest challenge, and that is the audition to get a job. Now, some jobs might not have an audition. They might just hire you right in and not test you out at all. But I'm going to say, still, how prepared are you? It's your first class. So, requiring a practical exam is practice for real life. And real life in teaching is running a class. And running a class doesn't happen naturally without some preparation. So, I hope I've explained why a practical exam is so important. Because if you don't have a practical exam, or you come through some kind of training that doesn't have a practical exam, then I have to wonder what you could possibly be thinking that it's a good thing. In some cases, I can understand where there might not be a practical exam, and that would be one, in a meditation class, because in meditation, you're focusing on meditation, but then again, a recording of your class and how you cue and everything else would be beneficial as well, just for you to get personal feedback. One of the things we do is we teach our students, whether they're here or whether they learn from the online courses or the distance learning courses, which mode of learning they decide on, we suggest a lot of times that they do some filming. We do some filming here so that they can have some exposure to what it's like to work in front of a camera. Some of them say it was very intimidating, that the camera was actually worse than any students. And I would say, if that's what you think, that the camera was worse than any students, you're going to be prepared. So it's a matter of preparation, practice, practice, practice.